What's up, guys? Oh, let's see here. We got a breaking news. Jerry, the marketing guru, wants to be on today, so my fixture setup is going to take a little bit of an impact. All right, let's see here. All right.
President Salvador, stuck between the bars, strong hands gone, but you can never go back, struggle to survive, you're still alive. Even if you've been beside, down your dreams are carried. Even if you can't forget, take a quick look at some of your regrets. Laying up breaks now, as if you need a wall. Stop the fall. Your bones are not even broken yet. So push yourself through without your regret. you know better. I won't stop. What freedom is the call? Jump red sky. Uncontrollable resistance shall around each other in our lives. I decided tomorrow, we meet God, when love's right. The time is now, restless minds, and our possible resistance is so we go. I believe in you. This is real. You can't
Good morning, sir. What's up, Jerry? How are you? You on? Do I got you? Check 1, 2. Give me a mic check. Check 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That was me.
Let's do a lag check.
Okay.
Check.
I got it.
Okay, so we got about a 2 to 3 second lag. Trying to get people in here on short notice. I didn't have time to put it out to all the groups to let them know to get in here and ask questions.
I am sure we can come up with enough stuff to talk about.
Oh, I know that. That's no problem. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to blanket what I can and try to get my my subscribers to go ahead and put it out about having you on. So I don't actually want to go in the groups and be like, yo, tune in and, you know, basically take over the group.
Right.
What's up, guys? Chris with Croft CNC here. Let me get that off there. All right. Slight change in plans at the 11th hour. Our good friend of the show, Jerry Frere. How do you actually pronounce your last name?
Freer.
Freer. Okay, so I wasn't too far off. But basically, he wanted to come on and do an open questions. So we're going to postpone the fixturing episode, and we will field some questions. for the masses, for marketing in general. Jerry, one thing. This is Coffee and Cuts, right?
Yeah.
I don't have any coffee.
Oh, well, you better like remedy that situation.
I'm sitting here going, I got to do Coffee and Cuts, and I'm getting the show ready, and I never even grabbed my coffee.
That's terrible.
I'm going to let you take over the show. Give me 5 minutes. You just puke out whatever you can, and I'll be back with some coffee.
Cool. So I think a couple of things that I want to constantly reiterate with you guys when we're talking about this stuff is first, just do it. Like you have the tools at hand to produce your own marketing materials and do your own marketing. Just do it. You know, this device right here, your cell phone is the best thing that you have in order to document what you're doing, and that's all you have to do. You don't need to worry about telling a story. You don't need to worry about fancy slogans or coming up with necessarily interesting things to say. What you need to do is you need to document what you're doing. Your machines tell a story. When your machines are working, they tell a story. When you're programming your machines, you're telling a story. When you're working on projects like this project back here, that tells a story, right? Chris did that for me. And so one of you last time I was on said I needed a piece of cut work on my wall, and I told you I had one. There it is. But just documenting that process, documenting what you do on a daily basis, and even an hour by hour basis, tells your story. And in telling that story and documenting that story and sharing that story, you're marketing. You're letting people know who you are and what it is you do. The other thing that I want to encourage you is be the source for information and whatever you specialize in. Be that source, right? And be willing to do what Chris does. Be willing to do what I do, and that is let people know what you do, and then help them along in their journey. There's always somebody that you can be helping. There's always somebody that you can allow to learn from what you're doing, what you've done, what you spent your lifetime doing, or what you spent the last 7 minutes doing. It doesn't really matter. But you need to share that. So document, and then pick a platform and use that platform to distribute the documentation of all you're doing.
Jerry, I'm back. Morning coffee. What are you drinking?
I am drinking English breakfast tea.
Cream and sugar? No cream and sugar?
A little, just sweet. So enough sugar to make it a little bit sweet.
So you're an Oxford type of guy.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't go all the way to the Earl Grey side of things. I stick maybe as dark as I'll go is Lady Grey. But I'll drink an Earl Grey if that's all I've got to drink. But I'm definitely into the breakfast style teas, Irish more than English, and I also I like white tea too. So it depends on the morning, and it depends on where I'm getting it from, and if I'm making it for myself or if I get a chance to have somebody make it for me.
We got Dead Man's Reach Double Dark with some infused honey, with vanilla infused honey, and just a touch of creamer to give it that,
cool.
that caramel kind of after flavor. With that being said, you touched on a really good point.
I got dogs, and my wife just brought me some more tea.
Nice.
So there you go.
But you touched on a good point. Platforms. Pick a platform. So I don't see that as I see the benefit in it, but the problem is at any time they could take that platform away and then you fall flat. So my theory is establish one platform and start building on multiple platforms as you grow. Like I did my foray into I actually started a YouTube channel, hell, I think it was a decade ago, and I just let it go dormant. Now every day I'm posting on YouTube and I'm learning new stuff every day. Brian from the Everything X-Carve channel and group on Facebook and YouTube, he actually was teaching me about YouTube stuff about a month ago, and I've seen a steady increase in viewership and hours viewed that I didn't really know about. And in doing that, I'm starting to realize that I need to jump across platforms as time allows. I can't shoehorn myself into just doing lives on Facebook, because then the viewership from Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Parler, Rumble, WhatsApp, and every other social media out there that I'm on doesn't get that content, or doesn't get let known that I made that content.
So here's my theory and my philosophy.
Real quick before you go into that, you like my lighting?
Yeah, I like your lighting.
It makes my eyes pop.
Yeah, my lighting and my camera changed since I've been on last time.
Your camera looks a lot better.
Yeah, I've kind of upgraded my surroundings a little bit, and I'm trying to make improvements there as I do this more.
We're doing the same thing, man.
So here's my philosophy on this. The number one complaint, the number one roadblock that I hear from most people when it comes to marketing is I don't know what to create. And then 1B is I don't have the time. And 1C of the exact same conversation is I don't know where to go. And the time issue comes around to not just in creating, but in distributing. So my theory is very simple. A, document, don't create. All right. Document what you're doing. Don't worry about creation. Let your daily schedule and what you're doing in your business determine what you're going to show, right? Allow that to inform the content that you're creating. That's number one.
On that note, what about guys like me that want to showcase what we're doing, but like I bounce between 3 shops now. Before it was very easy for me to go through, do my morning video. Now I'm actually physically in process of trying to outfit or figure out how to outfit a video camera in each shop that I can jump to.
Yeah, but what I would say is you need to simplify that plan. All right. And execute something. So maybe what you execute in each one of those shops is 3 GoPros. You have a GoPro in each shop and you hit the button the moment you walk in.
Right.
You've got to work on a system to allow you to create as you're figuring out how best to create.
Right.
Okay. And again, it may be that technically, Chris, this is all you need. This just needs to be in your pocket.
Right.
And it won't matter what shop you're in. Right.
But do I, so before, one of the things that people really liked, and you commented on it last time you were on, was I used to do a walkthrough every morning. As I would start up the shop, I would drive from my house. While I was driving to the shop from Lock Haven to Williamsport, I would think in my head, what do I have planned for today? That got me centered and planned out my day for me. And B, I was able to go into the shop, go live, turn the lights on, and say, this is what we're working on today. This project, and this project on this machine, and this machine, because everything was right there in a row. But I don't have that now. Now I have to bounce between 3 different garages and a basement. And on top of that, I'm doing the morning broadcast now. So that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around and figure out.
Yeah. And again, what I would say is, when we're talking about documenting as your sole source of creation, there's no such thing as too much. Like before you go live, before you do this show,
okay,
you should do a handheld. I'm getting ready for the show this morning, right? And this is what we hope to be covering. I'm headed to make my coffee. Oh, by the way, here's a look at my coffee. Here I'm at my machine making my coffee. Headed back to the studio. See y'all in 15 minutes. And post. Okay. And then when you get in here, now the show is a result. You're showing a result of your action. The action that you committed to. Now you're showing the result of that action. So
you're telling me go through the shop in the morning, go through all 3 shops live or pre-recorded, and then post them, record me making my coffee, merge it together, post it, and then do my broadcast? It commits me to something?
Well, no. I'm saying that as you're getting ready for your broadcast in the morning, that's your teaser. You're going to document that this is what I'm doing.
Okay.
This morning I'm around, I'm getting ready to do my show. Boom, done. Now your show's over, and you're headed to the shop. You're headed to the first shop. Now you're documenting that. Headed over to the shop. What I'm going to show you is I have these 2 projects going on. We're going to be working on them in a minute. I'll see you over there. Boom, done. And now you get there, you get everything set up, and you say, all right, remember I said on my way over, we're going to do this and this. Well, here's the first one. Now here's the second one. Instead of trying to gather all your footage and then cut it into something and then figure out where you're going to post it, just broadcast and post as you're creating. Whatever we see, right? Okay. However it goes.
Okay.
Because that's what we're looking for. You can heavily produce some content. You can produce an instructional video. You can produce a start to finish project video. That's great. But ultimately, that's not what everybody cares about. That's right. That's not what is going to allow your audience to see you in your element, being the expert that you are.
Okay.
So then, let's go back to the things that prevent us from doing this. What content to create? We're not going to create content. We're going to document. We're not going to use the word content creation. We have the tool. Here's the tool. Now document what we're doing. And you're going to document several things. You're going to document what You're going to document why, and you're going to document how. Okay, that's what you're going to document. So you document that. Then you make a decision right away to what platform am I going to focus on? Because this is where that secondary question comes into play about time, right? I don't have enough time to do what I want to do. Great. Then just do YouTube. Just do YouTube lives. Just do Facebook. Just do, just do your StreamYard show. Just do TikTok. Don't worry about the distribution to all those places, right? If you have the ability, so you want to live stream to Facebook and you want to live stream to YouTube. All right, use a platform like StreamYard that allows you to do that. You can put StreamYard on your phone, and you can, instead of hitting the Facebook Live button on your phone to go live from your shop or live as you're walking, you can fire up StreamYard, and you can do the exact same thing, and you can stream that broadcast to those two channels. No problem. If you happen to be a person who uses OBS as your studio, you can even stream to TikTok at the same time. But pick a channel and stay there. Is YouTube going to go away? No, it's not going to go away. But the thing that I will tell you is this: if you are doing live broadcasts, or if you're using something like StreamYard to produce all of your stuff for you, make sure you go into StreamYard and download those broadcasts and archive them. Buy yourself a couple terabyte USB hard drive and download all that stuff. Because in 6 months, 9 months, 18 months, 2 years, maybe something's going to happen to one of those platforms and your stuff may disappear, but you're going to have it all backed up on a drive, and you're going to find a new platform and you're going to republish all that stuff. That way you also have the archive to be able to do any editing should you want to go in and chop up a live broadcast or a StreamYard produced broadcast for use in other ways. But start somewhere. Like don't give me the excuse that I don't have enough time to do it, because the Facebook Live button is the easiest thing in the world.
I'm telling you right now, you got enough time to do it, because I do it. And Jerry knows if I can do it, anybody can. Yeah.
So if you've got one of these and one of these, you've got everything you need to be able to create content. I mean, this is like $6, right? I mean, it's that's what you need, and then you need a commitment to do it. Doing it for 3 days does not help you. Doing it for 30 days helps you. Doing it for 90 days helps you. It's about the consistency and being able to do that every day, all of the time. So it becomes second nature to what you're doing. Stop chewing on the floor. Silly. Do you need me to get your toy? Hold on a second. I take care of the more important person in the room.
So the biggest thing, and I'm actually making a banner for it so you guys realize, at the bottom, what he's saying is document. Don't create, document, because in documentation, you are creating. And especially if you use like YouTube, or if you make your Facebook's lives public, you can actually download those and create a content-based video from your feeds. So you can document and create all from the same videos. Takes a little bit of editing and stuff like that. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's not easy. What I do is not easy. It used to be easier because everything was in one place. But when you have a drive to do it, that's what makes it. It's not that it's easy, it's that you want it done.
Absolutely. And again, what we're talking about is looking at and viewing marketing completely differently, right? People don't want to hear about what you know; they want to see what you know,
right?
And so show them, like show them. Another interesting thing about documentation. I don't know how many of you struggle with getting paid what you're worth, because people look at what you do and they say, that's cool, right? I want one of them, but really, Chris, you're going to charge me $99 for that,
right?
You get told that at fairs and festivals all the time, right? Or they take your design book, right, and they want this custom thing for their wedding, and you say, oh well, yeah, I can do that for you. It's going to be $349.
Yep.
And they go, what do you mean? It's a piece of metal you throw in your laser machine, and you don't do anything. The machine does all the work.
Right.
Well, if you're documenting what you're doing, right? If your YouTube channel and your Facebook feed is full of your process, and then people begin to see what it looks like for you to create the project file, and then upload the project file, and then tweak the project file because the machine can't quite do what the project file is asking the machine to do, or the design is asking the machine to do. So you've got to do some custom things to make this work, and to make that work, and to make their names look the way they want their names to look, and all. If you've documented all that, it becomes a whole lot easier to get your value.
Right.
Because they've seen what kind of work goes into doing what they've asked you to do.
So something that I started doing towards the end of last show season was I started putting up my laptop and running live feeds on a loop of me creating products and showing people, like, this is how your product is made. This is the process that I go through. And a lot of people really enjoyed that, because, like you said, they're so far removed from where their product is actually made anymore that they don't realize it.
That is completely true. So show them, and in documenting that process, you're showing the person several things.
So real quick, Jerry, while we're on that topic, if you look on the screen, that's a logo that I created yesterday in the live feed. Like, my wife wanted to start an arts and crafts business, a gnome business, and I CNC her fabric on the laser, and then she hand sews everything, and she was shipping out these gnomes. So I documented a while ago. Let's see here. Share screen. I documented this process where I showed people how to make their own boxes on their CNC machines, because I had to make a box for my wife to ship her gnomes. Right?
Yeah.
Then I got the bright idea, like, people don't realize how easy it is to make your own branded boxes. And you can literally go up to Michael's and make and buy all the stuff to make branded boxes. And so I did a layout of what a logo would look like on the box. And then I decided to go through the process of showing how I made the logo and how I positioned it and everything like that. So inadvertently, I did the documentation that you were talking about, but in the same token, I got the content out of it that I needed to show my followers, like, this is how this is how it's made, and B, this is how you can make it at home.
Yep, absolutely. And again, that's the cool part about documentation, right? That content creation then becomes super easy, because you're not thinking about, you know, what am I going to do today? What am I going to try to sell today? What am I going to, all that gets taken out of it, because you're building your content strategy around the things that you do, right?
Right. It becomes easy. It becomes almost second nature because I've already done it. That's what I do on the daily basis. And because I do it on the daily basis, I get faster and faster. I get more comfortable with it and go from there.
Yep. Absolutely.
So I guess from that aspect, how can we document better?
You can document better by documenting more and not being concerned with the polish.
Right. And I think that's one reason why people like my live feeds on Facebook and YouTube, is because it's not polished. I have a sailor's mouth, which in this day and age, most people out in their shop are throwing wrenches, yelling, screaming, and getting frustrated. And they actually see some guy that's doing it in the shop getting frustrated when things don't work out. I'm breaking tools. I'm breaking bits all the time because I'm trying stupid stuff that I shouldn't be doing. And guys are like, what happens when? And I can just be like, oh, well, if you do this, it's going to break. And this is how it is. And I show them. And then after that, I show them a finished product or a semi-finished product that is made from it.
Nope. And again, that's what you need to do. It is all about just doing that, and then ensuring that you've got some place to upload it. I mean, right now, one of the hottest trends on TikTok is getting to your 1,000 followers, as fast as you possibly can, and then setting your phone up on a tripod that overlooks the majority of your shop, and just hitting the go live button and live streaming your 3 hours in the shop. And you walk over to the camera occasionally when you're doing something different, or you've got something to explain, and you explain it and go right back to doing what you're doing.
Do you have 1,000 followers on TikTok?
I do.
Can I ask a favor of you?
Sure.
Can you put a tag for Croft CNC out there so I can do that?
I will absolutely do that. And when we sit down in person, I can give you a couple of TikTok tricks to get you to 1,000 pretty quickly.
Please. That's one of those things that's where I'm having a lot of issues is StreamYard streams live to so many platforms, but those platforms, what a lot of people don't realize, you have to have so many followers, or you have to have so many content view hours, or this hurdle to jump through or that hurdle to jump through, that you don't get to share your live feeds. You don't get to share your live content. And I think like TikTok business and everything is going to be the next Facebook, because you can make it 3 seconds, you can make it 60 seconds, or if you have the following, you can go live. And when you do that, you start expanding, because people can choose how long the snippet is that they follow on.
Yep, absolutely.
And they don't have to jump through hoops of, oh, close down this video and go to this video, or open up a new tab for this video, like the YouTube platform, or they don't have to search through content after content after content on Facebook.
That's right. So there are, I mean, we can, I can come on and we can talk content distribution, and we can talk about best platforms for whatever. That to me is a completely different show. But the biggest thing is get started somewhere. Mm-hmm. Just get started somewhere. Start documenting and start distributing the documentation. That's all you want to do.
And how do you think the normal person, and I'm thinking of the guys like Dre King from First Class Flag Company. Sorry, ever since my medical issue, I have a problem putting stuff together.
Oh, no problem.
Dre King, Jerome DeFrank, JD Wood Creations, Carlos Salinas and Sammy from Pied Piper and Carlito, Mark Rush, Tommy Miller. These are all guys that I follow on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, they work out of a garage, like a home garage. And then you have guys like Chris Kane from My Perspective Photography that literally does landscape photos of industrial areas. Two completely different spectrums. How should they document?
The process of documentation is the same for everybody, and that is whip this out and press record. Mm-hmm. That's it, right? You're either recording to the phone for distribution later, or you're hitting the go live button and you're going live. Here's the beauty about going live. So let's just boil it down to its simplest form and say that you're going to use the Facebook platform and you're going to use going live in Facebook, or you're going to use Instagram and you're going to use the going live platform in Instagram. Just do it. I mean, it literally is as simple as hitting the button and doing it. And the beauty of lives that are on Facebook and that are on Instagram is that they live on forever, right? They right. Have a location. They're under your videos. You can go back in and tag them and give them more context. But the simplicity of creating it is all in simply hitting the button. So if you've got to drive from point A, if you've got to drive from your house to work, then start using that time that you're in your vehicle from your house to your shop to create content, to create a live that talks about what you're going to do in your upcoming day, right? I'm going to accomplish these things, and this is what I intend to do. Now, if you don't ever get to, if while you're in the shop you never get around to doing any more documentation, who cares? Just get in the habit of every day when I crawl in my car, the first thing I do is I set up my phone in my phone holder. I get everything going. I get going. I get to my first stoplight and I hit record or I hit go live and I am live until I turn the engine off. And when I turn the engine off and go to get in the shop, I end my feed and off I go.
Right.
That's what you have to do. That's what it's all about. It's all about getting in that process, and getting in the habit of producing that thing. And as you do it, your first one's going to suck. Sorry, that's just the truth of the matter. Your first week's probably going to suck. Your first month may suck, but who cares?
Right.
It doesn't really matter. You've got to get in the habit of doing it. And it doesn't matter, what type of business you're in. There's a point of entry for content creation, documentation,
Right.
for everybody.
So how can people best figure out what model is best for them?
In what way?
Whether it be platforming, distribution, whether it be go live or record and post after the fact. How can people determine from their client base what's best?
Well, okay. So there's a couple of nuanced questions in here. The first question you're asking is where's your audience? And I would ask you this question. If you wanted to know something about one of your CNC machines that you didn't know anything about and you didn't have a friend to call, where would you go find it?
Google.
Okay, but what platform after Google would you find without looking? I would guess that this platform would be where I can find this information.
Oh, YouTube.
Okay, well then now you've answered your question. I want to figure out how I can produce my content so my content shows up on YouTube. And oh, by the way, YouTube has a live stream feature.
Okay.
So you can go live. So now you've answered your own question.
No, that's perfect because I didn't even know what the question was. So being able to talk through with somebody, and I think that's, for me, that's what I was getting at, was a lot of these guys want to do. They genuinely want to do, but there's so much spewed at them that they're paralyzed by fear and inactivity because they don't know what to do. There's so much being thrown at them. So now the question you guys need to ask yourself is, what platform would you go to have your question answered if you had a question? Would you go to Facebook and post a poll? Would you post a question? Would you just ask in general? Or would you go to YouTube and search? Or would you go to Instagram? Or how would you interact to find the answer to your question? And then from there, that should be the platform you concentrate on, and then figure that platform inside and out. Am I correct, Jerry?
Yeah. Well, and again, it's not necessarily even going so far as to say figuring the platform out. Let the platform work for you. Like no digital marketer is an expert on every platform and can tell you how to succeed on every platform. But we know how to make platforms work for us, right? If there is an audience that follows hashtag CNC questions on YouTube, okay, and that is a hashtag that gets used on YouTube, well, then there's an audience there. So put your content there. Well, like the idea of platforms and social media is go where the eyeballs are, right? And then figure out how to rein in those eyeballs, whether it's proper hashtags or getting on somebody else's morning show or whatever it is, right? There are ways that that platform is going to perform. And it's not that you necessarily have to figure it out. You just need to understand how that audience is gathered there, right?
Right.
And what holds that audience together. And then again, consistently produce content.
Hold on one second. I'm actually trying to get you some people in here to get some more questions in here as to what they're actually looking for. Because that's the big thing for me is I need people to talk about what questions they have so that I can then formulate my questions. Because a lot of times I don't even know what questions to ask to start getting answers. That's really what it boils down to. And I get kind of complacent in that because, you know, I say, oh, well, I can do this, but somebody else has probably already done it. You know, and then from there it's the, oh, well, do I really need to do it? I
Right.
always say yes, but but that's me.
Again, one of the things that you're going to find is as you create, you're going to learn, but you can't learn how a platform works and where the best place to distribute is if you're not producing there.
Right.
Like you're not going to have success in trying to figure it out. You're better off doing and quote unquote failing doing and keep that cycle of I'm doing but it's not working, I'm doing but it's not working, I'm doing but it's not working, because you don't know when it's going to.
Right.
Okay? I have a former employee who is a YouTube creator in the social media marketing space.
Right.
How to do YouTube, how to do Instagram, all those kinds of things. She spent 4.5 years with under 10,000 subscribers. It was a struggle for her in 54 months to go from 0 to 10,000. And in the 55th through the 60th month of her channel, she went from 10,000 to 360,000. She didn't know when her success was going to come, but she kept producing 2-3 videos a week consistently over the course of 4.5 years, and finally it clicked and started to happen for her, and has been now a overwhelming success for her.
Right.
So again, be consistent with it. You know that's what you want to be doing. That's how you want to be going with it. So do that, right?
Okay.
And document and produce that every day. And don't look at your numbers. Don't look at your numbers. Consistently produce the content. Listen, the strangest thing about TikTok is, I have 6,000 followers, and the majority of my posts get 200 views. But then there's that one that gets 2,000, and then there's that one that gets 42,000, and then occasionally you hit with something that goes viral, and 500,000 people see one of your posts.
Okay.
But 99 out of 100 posts on TikTok, 200 people see it. You know,
so we have a skewed view of what's actually happening on social media because of these influencer numbers.
sure.
We're thinking, you know, we need to be the Kardashians and getting 1 million views on every post, when in actuality, we're going to get 100 to 200 views on 90% of the posts, and 10% might trend if you're
Yep.
lucky.
Absolutely. That's 100% how you have to look at it.
And you know, I've since thought about it like that, where I genuinely think to myself, hey, I'm not really making an impact. I mean, this morning, our biggest number on this live for views so far, not even likes or comments, but our biggest number has been 7 viewers at one time. But, you know, over the next week, I'll have people go back to that live, whether it be on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or wherever I post it at, and they'll actually go back to it. And when they go back, I'll get those extra views.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what we've got to look at. Listen, if you listen to YouTube video experts, right? They're constantly saying, "Oh, you have to reverse engineer your most successful your most successful posts and your most successful videos, and try to do that again." No, like the Mr. Beasts of the world are few and far between, right? The top 10 YouTubers, the top 10 TikTok influencers, the top 10 Instagram influencers, they have 30-40% of the audience.
Right.
Like, you're never going to get there. But that doesn't mean that you don't create a YouTube video that gets 3,000 views when your normal YouTube video gets 40. Right. This is what I tell people about something going viral. All right. What's the definition of a viral post for the average person? A viral post is any post that does 10 times what your average is.
Okay.
That post is viral for you. So
Okay.
if your average views is 40 and all of a sudden you have a YouTube video that's got 400, that post for you went viral.
Right.
That's how you have to look at it, right? And understand it within the context of who your audience is. Now, can you build a big audience for a small business? Sure you can, right? But it rarely happens because of a single post.
Right.
That is not the rule. That is the rarity.
So how can they make it more apt that they're going to get it?
Yeah, I don't think that the more time you spend thinking about that, the less time you spend creating, the less time you're likely to have a post, any single post, go viral for you.
Okay.
Just keep creating. Like, keep creating, keep documenting,
Gotcha.
Listen, here's another truth of this. What you think is going to be great and what you think is going to be great content probably won't be. The piece that makes you famous and the piece that makes that goes viral and does your best for you is probably a piece that you thought was, well, that's okay. I could show this. It's kind of cool, but it's really not that interesting.
Right.
Right. But yet that'll be the one that will end up doing something. That will be the one that will end up going viral.
And that's one of the things that I found most is like the stuff that goes viral for me. I really didn't plan on it. Like that Scrabble piece that I did for my wife. I thought that was the stupidest thing ever, but she loved it. And when she posted it, all of her friends posted it on Facebook. And then I posted it on Instagram and I tagged some of the Scrabble people in it. And all of a sudden, like software companies that I use to create the product and epoxy companies that I use to decorate the product and hardware companies that I use to make the product, they're tagging my photo and putting it across to their customers.
Yep.
And I thought that was just, it was such a simple thing to do. It didn't make any difference to me.
And that's how this works. That is 100% how this works.
So how can we increase the probability of actually making that happen then?
More content.
Just blow content out of the water.
Yep.
So why don't we just put a shop cam up and have it run 24/7 on all the platforms?
Because nobody would know when to tune in, right? Again, let's talk about TikTok. 15 seconds versus 60 seconds versus live stream.
Right.
Okay. When does some like people are choosing how much they're willing to look at and see. So you've got to create for the platform that you have in mind that you've chosen to make your primary platform.
Okay.
People consume TikTok differently than they consume YouTube, than they consume Instagram, than they consume Facebook, right? There's a different expectation with every one of those things.
Right.
The person who goes to YouTube isn't necessarily saying, Chris, I only have 90 seconds to watch something from you, right? They may be able to commit 20 minutes to learning something from you. So you've got to keep your content in context to the platform that you're choosing. Now putting a live stream camera on the plasma machine so that when the plasma cutter is running, the live stream is running, that might be cool. Because it's always doing something and there's always something to see, right? So people know, gee, if the plasma live is running, I'm gonna see some cool plasma cutting going on.
Right.
So there would be ways to do it, but again, you don't necessarily want to. You want to have a purpose in what it is that you're recording and showing. And again, to me, this comes back to the philosophy of document, and in documentation, unlike content creation, documentation serves a purpose, right? Documentation serves, like, you're not going to document something that you don't necessarily have to do. All right. I'm doing this step just to show you how to do it. That's a completely different process than documenting.
Okay.
I'm showing you how I'm doing whatever it is I'm doing. I am telling you what I'm about to do. That's documentation. And that's what you want to be doing. Instead of worrying about content creation.
So I guess here's the thing. I guess from my standpoint, people want to live vicariously. They want a voyeur.
They do.
They want a peek behind the curtain for no other reason than to say, I know how they did that.
Oh yeah. There's lots of that.
So how can I meet that need each day?
Okay.
Or what?
So here's a better thing. Chris, what is the best thing that can happen for you when you put out a piece of content?
I get another follower. I get an email address.
You expand your audience.
Right.
So the number one goal for you producing content is you want to expand your audience.
Yes.
Okay. Who's your audience?
Okay, this is a trick question because in the very beginning of this, I would have said everybody.
Which
but
is
it's not.
It never is.
No, it's typically the 25 to 65 female. I would say typically the white female, rustic farmhouse, married, children, house owner.
Okay. If that's your audience, then why do you do this show, and why do you do how to set up CNC tutorials?
Because, to be honest, because it gives me an outlet and it helps me think through my process, because I have to think, how would I teach this to somebody? So I actually was asked this question: why do you do this show if you waste an hour to 2 hours of your day and you get 4 to 15 viewers? And my answer was, it's cathartic.
Okay. So
I do it for self-preservation.
Okay. And completely valid. But now let me ask you this question. What content are you producing for your audience? For your stated audience? The 25 to 65-year-old female, country rustic. What content are you producing for them?
That's interesting, because I don't produce content for any specific audience. I produce content for myself. But that's the weirdest part to me is I never go live. I never do this show with the intent of, this is the audience I'm trying to reach. I go live and I do it with the intent of what I want.
Okay. Okay. So let's take a step back. Do you know who your audience for this show is?
For this show, I honestly don't, because it comes from my friends list on Facebook and my followers on YouTube, and it's a mixed bag of welders, mechanics, First Amendment auditors, people that are just like, what the hell is this guy talking about and doing?
Okay.
And I've checked my analytics to see if there's a key group, and there really isn't. It's all over the place, but I attribute that to the fact that I'm all over the place.
But contrary to what you just said, you described who your audience for this show is. You know who your audience for this show is. You know the 24 people who are likely to show up. Mm-hmm. You know the people that are going to call you and interact with you from this show. So regardless of whether you're saying, I create this content for me and people happen to just be along for the ride, the people who happen to be along for the ride have self-segmented themselves and they've created an audience for you.
Okay.
So you are creating content for an audience with this show. Secondly, if you want to see the aspect of your business grow in which you are selling product and taking on new projects, you have to be intentional about creating content for that audience.
Okay. So, I gotta give a quick shout out here. Is Stalin K a follower of yours on Twitter?
Not that I know of.
Well, he's going to be, because he just retweeted our live stream to his audience.
Cool.
And yeah, I'm pretty excited because it's already getting a lot of tweet on it.
Cool.
I guess that's how you say it. So that's another issue I have is most of the people that watch this show are not consumers of mine. They're friends and fellow makers that are trying to do what I'm doing. So I don't sell a product to them. I can't sell a product to them.
And I completely get that. But you can't ignore your revenue producing audience.
Right.
So you have to then figure out a way, to ask yourself, where are 25 to 65-year-old females who are country, artsy, crafty, rustic women? Where are they at? And the number one answer to that question is
Facebook.
no, it's not.
Where do you think they are?
They're Pinterest.
Okay, so I have Pinterest, and you're absolutely right on that, but I don't know how to reach the audience there because I don't know how to do Pinterest. Like I just post on Pinterest. Like I guess I create a pin, I put my picture up, I put the description, and I usually tag my website.
And you have to properly hashtag it. So you've got to figure out what the proper hashtags are, so that your pins get automatically added to pin boards that have those specific hashtags.
Okay.
And you provide a way in each of your on each of your pins with the ability to contact you and to find your other stuff and to find your other social media. But the number one place they are is Pinterest. The number two place they are is Instagram.
You're absolutely right.
The number three place they are is Facebook.
I did not think about Pinterest as being a social media platform as much as a look what I can do platform, like an idea platform.
Absolutely. Like, where are they going to get their ideas? Where are they going to get their idea for that custom metal piece on their back wall?
Right.
They're going to Pinterest. That's where they're going. That's their platform.
Right.
So you've got to go where they are. And then you've got to create content to do that. And I would say the fourth place that those females are, and it's more the 25 to 50 as opposed to 25 to 65, is TikTok.
Yeah. I was pushing TikTok like we talked about. I was one of the first makers on TikTok, and I was never getting any views. And the views that I was getting were kids that didn't have any money, and I was trying to parlay that into something to entice the parents. And then it kind of went by the wayside, and I told some of the guys that I do stuff with, like, this is what I'm doing, and they're like, "Oh, you're stupid, you're stupid." I let it go for a little bit, and now all the guys that I was telling that to are putting up videos exactly like I was and are getting 200, 300 views a video.
Yeah.
So,
And listen, again, it's consistency, right?
right.
It is the ability to just consistently be there, right?
Yep.
And then move forward. But you've got to be producing content where your target audience is at, and you have to understand, based on where they're at, what type of content to produce. And that's it. Like that's the key to this whole game is figuring out where your audience is. Once you figure out where your audience is, determining what the best practices of that platform is, and then deploying content to it. Now, that is not contrary to this whole concept of documentation, not creation, because let's say that your target audience is the audience that brings you revenue is all about buying these signs, right? Buying this stuff back here. So there's nothing to prevent you from documenting the creation of a piece like that, and then taking some stills of it, taking some stills of the process, taking some stills of it hanging and powder coating, whatever you're doing, right? And then using that to create the content for the particular platform and for the particular audience that you're talking about.
Right. So where do we go to figure out best practices?
By scrolling through the platform. You spend 15 minutes on Pinterest, you know it works.
No, I mean, like, how should we hack the best practices in terms of do I make a thumbnail of this video, post it to Pinterest? This video is an awkward one to post to there, but do I make a thumbnail of what I made, the sign that I made, put a title to it? What title do I put? What do I include in the title? Do I make it long or short? Do I in the description?
You're thinking too much. Put the first one up. How take a look at the way other people are deploying content. All right. You go to Pinterest, and you have a look at I don't know. Let's see. Hold
on. We're gonna do this together because I'm actually going. Okay, we're gonna go Pinterest. We're gonna
do custom metal signs rustic.
Rustic metal signs. Okay. So you have explore and you have shop. So we don't want to shop. We just want to explore, right? And you want to look through. Hold on. So I can actually set up a shop on Pinterest?
Sure.
Okay, I had no idea. Okay.
So if you click on the Whitaker W sign,
Whitaker W.
it takes you to Metal Unlimited and takes you to the ability to buy that sign.
Okay. Why? Oh, it's promoted by.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So let's do this one. This one takes us to an actual pin.
Exactly.
It has their website. And then this is the description. So is their website, is that where it asks for your website, or a website to link to? Is that what's coming up here? Okay. And then this 44.95 bakery wall sign is the title.
Yep.
And then this down here is their description.
Yep.
And then this is who posted it, right?
You got it.
Okay, now where did the shop on Reclaimed and the 5-star thing come in?
The promoted thing, right?
They're not. It didn't say promoted on it. So how do you? Is that because they have a shop on Pinterest?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so basically, guys, what I'm finding out, Jerry is literally walking me through this in front of you guys, is when you go to Pinterest and you post something, go before you post it, go to another posting. And how do we know that their posting is doing well, Jerry? How do we know what posting to copy or mimic?
Well, number one, it comes up in Explore. Number two, when you click on it, it will tell you that Pinterest account. It will tell you how many followers that Pinterest account has. I mean, if the Pinterest account has 650,000 followers.
Okay, this has 3.7K followers.
Yeah.
So what's a good follower number?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like you've got to do some exploration, right? You've got to look at it.
Okay, this one has 106 followers, so I probably don't want to mimic that sign.
Probably not.
Okay, so that's promoted. Let's do the welcome y'all. Okay, here we go. Here's one. It's an Etsy setup, and it has 315.6K followers. So that's probably something you'd want to mimic.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so this right here is gold, Jerry, because like I said, you told me this is where my audience is at for my metal and wood signage, because the women are going there for ideas and to purchase. So now I've just hacked my Pinterest promotion, and I'm able to actually walk through this and see how you're doing this and looking at this now. So this one is from Maker Table. It has 2K followers. But okay, this confuses me a little bit, Jerry, because at the bottom it has Maker Table saved this pin.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes into a bunch more stuff down here. So it's like they have two descriptions.
Yep.
Okay, how do we do that?
Again, you have to play with it. It looks to me like they just added that as a comment.
Oh, okay. Okay, so they went in and commented on their own photo.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, this is making a lot of sense now. Okay, this one does not have it. Now, do we want something that has comments, or are we just looking for their followers to mimic?
Again, you're looking for what comes up when I search specific things, right?
Right.
And then you want to take the best practices that you see from the stuff that comes up from what you're searching and apply it to your pins.
Okay, how do I know what is best practice? Because to me, all of this looks the same because I don't know this platform. I haven't understood this platform.
You just need to do some scrolling and some clicking.
Okay, so it's just a matter of take time that you've already established that you don't have to do that.
Well, yes, but you do have time when you know where your audience is. If you're shotgunning content, you don't have time.
Right.
Because you don't know what the best
investment
of your time is.
If you have intention, you do have time.
That's right.
And that, I think that's the key that you were getting to earlier was have intention when you make content. Who is it made for? What are you trying to accomplish with it? Because right now, like I'm looking at this and this has opened up my eyes to, I am now taking all of my still pictures and I'm going to post them on Pinterest and actually figure out Pinterest because this is where my customers are at.
Yep.
I knew this. I just didn't know how to use it. So I wrote it off.
And oh, by the way, you can post videos on Pinterest. Go up, see where it says all pins next to your notification icon?
Yes.
Click on that.
Uh-huh.
Now click on videos. Now it will show you just the videos.
Oh, wow.
Oh, look. Does that look familiar?
Yep. Okay. All right. And then he has the hashtags. There are 2 loves on it. They did a comment. They saved the pin and commented on it. Okay. See, this right here is gold because I had no idea that this is how that happened and took place. So we basically, guys, just so you know, we basically just hacked our primary form of getting customers and putting content out directly to customers with the intent of A, showing them what we can do, and B, selling something to them, getting their eyes and getting their attention so you have the ability to sell.
That's right.
Now, the downside to that is I'm going to hack this and show them, and now I'm behind the 8 ball because all of the people following me are seeing how to hack this while I'm doing it.
Well,
this is great, Jerry. This right here sheds so much light on what we're actually looking at. Because like this right here, I can make this and they're charging $900 and something for it. And I know it's not worth that. I know I can produce that for $300 and still make a hell of a profit. And they've got 35.2K followers. So if I mimic what they did, there's a good chance that I could possibly trend on Pinterest. Is that
Sure.
what?
Sure, but again, it's when I say mimic, I'm not necessarily talking about product for product, but I'm talking about how they post, right?
Right.
And
That's what I'm getting at too. Is I'm not saying I'm going to copy this. I'm saying I know I have a better price point if I were to do something like this. So if I can do something like that and mimic their post, then that's the clientele that I'm shooting for.
right. And again, I think of your Christmas ornaments and your military signs and all of those things. That's a space that you could easily jump into Pinterest with.
So now they're putting, do we put, as makers, should we put prices out there on our posts like that?
Why not?
For me, I think that's very concerning because in our market, metal prices fluctuate so much, wood prices fluctuate so much that if you put that out there and prices double, and now you have to up the price of that sign.
Well,
it's out there.
But go back to the light that you said, was $1,000 that you can make for 300. There's a reason why they're charging $1,000 for it. They know sometimes they're going to make 500 on it, and they know sometimes they're going to make 700 on it.
Gotcha.
Again, I think a lot of times what makers don't understand is they don't understand their value.
Okay.
And one thing cruising through Pinterest and Etsy stores will do for you is it will show you what other people are valuing what you do.
Right.
So it's okay to be a little less. It's not okay to be drastically less.
Right. Now, this is a Wayfair post, and I know I can't compete with them on this pricing. Like for stainless steel with the mounts and everything like that, I doubt I could compete with them on pricing.
Well, then that's just a product you wouldn't offer.
Right. Or I can point out, like, I use a different wood, maybe possibly a better wood. Possibly, I don't know, American stainless steel or something like that. Or I could do it in a different texture color that somebody might like better than the stainless steel. So this opens up a lot of understanding in this area. And I honestly, I'm glad we tripped across this, because this is going to help me and so many other people.
Listen, the bottom line in this whole in this whole thing is this, and that is, you need to create with intention. You need to create with intention.
Okay. See, I'm looking at a lot of this stuff, and I'm like, I can make that easy. Like I'll pump those out all day for you. This wood sign here, That's easy. And I've got machines that a lot of these makers don't even have. And as I look through this, I'm just like this is just a pocket that's CNC routed into the back of a wood fixture for an LED, and you can buy it at Lowe's. It's stuff like this that opens up a whole different idea to me.
Yeah, and again, create content with your intended audience in mind, and it's going to spur other things. It's going to spur other thoughts. You're going to be able to figure out the things that work best or work better for you, or are more profitable, or are, there's just so much that you can learn when you're, again, doing things with intention. It's perfectly okay to produce this show for the narrow audience that it has. All right. But you need to daily produce content that will generate eyeballs on what you're doing that is going to generate revenue.
Right.
And you can still do in producing content for that audience, you could still use the philosophy of documentation, not creation. I'm documenting me making this custom wedding sign.
Right.
I do these custom wedding signs.
This right here, understanding how Pinterest works now has changed the way that I look at it.
There you go.
And I don't know if it's just because I'm dense in that area and I didn't understand it, so it was like the magical box, or if other makers genuinely didn't understand how to use it, how to utilize it. Because I'm sitting here looking at stuff right now and I'm like, okay, now I know how to read their post. And like you said, it's a matter of take a couple minutes, scroll through, read them. I know what to look for followers now. Like I know that's one thing you should do for content for your area, for marketing, is break down a post on each of these platforms. Because I would have been doing this all along, and instead of just shotgunning a post out there, if you look at my Pinterest page, it's a cluster of stupid stuff now. Now I look at it and I go, this is how stupid I am when it comes to this platform. That's exactly what that says to me.
And again, there is a wide variety of content out there. That you can use to be able to figure this out. It's not. It's truly not rocket science.
Right. It's rocket science in the fact if you don't know it, then it's rocket science or magic.
Yep.
But if you know it and you know how to now hack it, to me, this is hacking it because I didn't know how to make a post on it. So now that I know how to make a post on Pinterest, every time I make my Facebook post, I now know either post a video of the make or post a photo of the product. And now I know what post to go to kind of look at what they're posting to get the reaction I want. And I'm still dumbfounded by that. And I know it sounds so dumb, guys, but these are the light bulbs that have to go on for you. And you have to grab that attention. Because I guarantee you, if I can get some of these people that are looking at these products to look at my products, I can get them to buy my product.
That's
because
right.
I genuinely believe that my product is far superior.
I agree.
And that's not being conceited. That's being confident in the fact of I know how I produce my product.
Yeah, and I firmly believe that. You know, and again, it's also about focus, right? It's about, you know, the best word that I can use for creating content for a specific audience is intention. You have to be intentional. You have to do it with intention. If you don't, then you are wasting your time. I mean, that's exactly what's going on. And the thing that we wanted to help all makers do and help all small business owners is not to waste time.
Right. This I just searched SVG files because obviously I make files for people, and all these things are popping up. I am really beside myself right now because I had no idea it was this easy. I had no idea what I was looking at. So now I'm able to utilize this platform a lot better than what I did. Because I'm seeing this, and I was not using this platform correctly at all.
Well, there you go.
All right, man.
Maybe we'll see pictures of a crystal grid board up here, right?
Absolutely. I actually have the pattern, the laser pattern ready, and I ordered the tools. So for you guys, Jerry and I are working on a project behind the scenes, and I'm making a fully CNC'd product for him that contains, it's a circular shape. It has a 1/4 inch round over on the edge. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to run the router around them. We're then going to round over the edge on the CNC before we ever take it off. And then we're actually going to laser on that. It's always pretty cool to do these projects. I like doing these projects a lot. But that's where everything is at right now. I've already got the plan in place to do your project. And then it was just a matter of, I asked a couple questions of size, thickness, any type of specific wood or anything like that. You know, what do you want out of this? And Jerry was very easy to be like, oh, I need this, this, and this. Other than that, do it. You know,
and as long as she has them on time, she'll be happy.
Right. You know, so yeah. But man, Jerry, I'm thinking we go ahead and wrap this one down. We've been on for almost 2 hours, or I've been on for almost 2 hours. Why don't we wind this down and give us your closing thoughts, and we'll go from there.
Just start doing it. Don't worry about a plan. Just start doing it. And
Documentation, not creation.
documentation, not creation. That is the mantra of the day. And you know, secondarily, while you're sitting on your couch in the evening doing nothing, flipping through your phone, find your audience. You know, figure out where your audience is at. Go find them.
We really need to do a couple shows on exactly what we did here in the last half hour. I need to make sure that I am utilizing each platform the way that it should be, and how to actually make the posts that should be on that platform. Because I found that TikTok does not take well to still photos.
Nope.
You do videos on TikTok.
Yep.
Pinterest, typically still photos. You could do video, obviously, but you know, they're going to search photos first.
Yeah, but you can use on Pinterest, you can use your video to stand out from the stills,
right?
Providing an extra layer and extra depth to what you're doing.
We also need to do a show on cross-platform linking. So like Instagram, I post my still, and then I link to my YouTube. Is that correct or incorrect?
Correct.
On Pinterest, I should just post the raw video, or no?
Sure.
So there you go, guys. There's a lot that has to be done for this, but I think with Jerry's help, we'll be able to get through the muddy waters.
That's what I'm here for.
So,
well, thanks, Chris.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time.
No
And
problem.
guys, I'm going to cut you off here, and me and Jerry will talk to you again soon. Later.
Later.